Never thirsty. Never thirsty.
You know what? Speaking of sports, they're trying to make somebody take a vaccine. Who was that? Kyrie?
Kyrie, yeah.
How you feel about that? Should he take it? Do you feel the way Stephen A. Smith feels?
What did he say?
Oh, he went in. He was
he mad or
like,
was he
I think he
against
feels
Kyrie?
like I think he's against Kyrie 1,000%.
Yeah.
Feels like he should take the vaccine.
I mean, it's a very
Feels like that.
I mean, listen, if I'm going to be completely honest with you, people should take the vaccine. Like, let's just get that out in the open. Like, that's the first thing that I'm just going to say, like that's what side of it I'm on. But I will say, though, that, Kyrie, that doesn't mean he has to take it. He's a grown man. He can do what if he doesn't want to take it, then don't take it. But
then you're on his side then.
Lawyer that requires you to take it, or you work for a team that travels and goes to different cities and are in arenas with lots of people where they're requiring double vaccination just to enter the building, then you're not going to be able to enter that building. So that's going to be, listen, at some point, it's a dollars and cents decision for most people. But for Kyrie, he's made a lot of money. He's made a living. So maybe he doesn't need the extra $8 million or whatever it is. Or maybe that's, he's playing a different game of math than us. But he can afford to not go if that's what he wants. For me, jab me in the forehead if it meant that I was going to be getting millions and millions of dollars. But I'm not Kyrie's accountant, so I don't know. I'm assuming his financial situation is probably incredible. And he doesn't have to take the vaccine if he doesn't want to, but he also has to understand that private businesses can also have the right to not let him go in their building if they want. It's like, and he can walk in public, but when you're talking about a private building, any private building can listen, no shirt, no shoes, no service.
Yeah, no, listen, so you're kind of on his side in a way and not on his side in a way.
I mean, I'm sort of sitting on the fence, but I'm leaning on the side that he should just get the vaccine and play basketball. But again, I'm not his doctor. I don't know if he has medical conditions or what his fears are, or I've never spoken to Kyrie. So, it doesn't affect me so much, but it does affect me if I'm a Brooklyn Nets fan, or if I'm like a little kid that wants to go see Kyrie play. But listen, at the end of the day, he can do whatever he wants. It's just life is going to be more difficult for the foreseeable future anyway. For people who don't listen, you weren't so hyped on getting the vaccine. You ended up getting it. Something happened that made you change, not necessarily your opinion on it, but it changed your mind about getting it. You might still think it's good or bad, but you still got it. So what is that thing that Kyrie needs to happen to him to get to what happened to you?
Well, maybe people don't like to be forced to do anything. That's number one.
I agree.
So once you start forcing somebody, you're going to get some resistance. It's getting crazy out here with the arguments I'm seeing online between friends.
Yeah, for sure. It's been like that for the last 6-7 years. It's been crazy.
So they're forcing them to take it. So I feel like he should be able to stand up for himself and have his reasons, if they're logical to him, to not to take or not take it. But if you got people like Mr. Smith going in on him for that, I think that's wrong, because that's your body.
If you are coming from Mr. Smith's, I'm just putting myself in his size 12 and a halves. Just guessing. I don't know how big his feet are, but putting myself in his shoes, I would say that he's a basketball guy. Obviously, this affects his world, and Stephen A.
Does
Smith, it kind of does. I mean, listen, he wants the best teams to be out there and the best players to be out there. Maybe, I don't know.
His job is to commentate on just them playing. To be, talk about.
He's sort of like an op-ed guy. He gives opinions. He's more of a
right. That's the extra. You're giving me some extra stuff now.
Yeah,
you're giving me extra. So your extra maybe not be needed when someone got to stick a needle in their arm. We don't need your extra on that.
Was it a scary needle when you got it?
No.
Did you even feel it? I'm just curious. Did you even feel it?
I didn't feel it.
Because I didn't either. It's like they were like, okay, and I'm like, okay, and they're like, no, we did it, and I'm like, what? It already happened.
It's not one of those type of needles.
No,
It's
not like it's not like, it's like a little.
No. It's all right. So, but listen. If is that a signal for us? Do you hear that noise?
No, that wasn't a signal for us.
Okay. I say this. If you're gonna take it to make money, if you're gonna take it, whatever you need to take it for, you should have that decision to take it. You should be forced to put anything in your body because having a vaccine doesn't make you less contagious, correct? In other words, if you have COVID, you can still give it to someone else. It just helps you out personally.
Well, it also helps out everybody because if like less
How?
people are going to the hospital, then that's good, right? Because there's people who need the hospital for things other than COVID.
Okay, but as far as you giving someone COVID, I don't think, and I'm not sure about
Yeah,
that.
I'm not an expert, but from what I understand, and that could be wrong, it could be right. I'm pretty sure that you can still get it and you can still give it. It's not 100% guaranteed. It's like 70% chance that you won't get it, which means there's a 30% chance that you will get it. That's still very high. Back to baseball, if a guy hits 3 times out of 10, he's batting 300, he's a Hall of Famer. So COVID still has Hall of Fame type chances to get to you, even with the vaccine.
You
But
know
at
what we
least
should
you
do?
have, at least you have increased protection against what could go wrong.
We should get a doctor on our show.
We could.
That's what we should do. And ask some of the questions because a lot of times, me and you talk a lot of good stuff at the beginning of our shows. It would be great to have a fact checker on deck to really educate some of these people.
WireFang to line up a doctor, I'm more than happy to talk to one. But at this point, everybody's seen that conversation, but maybe not the one that we would have with the doctor.
No.
So that's
Don't assume that.
Never thirsty.